X TV.
Hi, Heather Dawn for Planet X, and stay tuned for this amazing, awesome retro surf special. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay tuned.
Only here on Planet X.
All right, everybody. Next to me is the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mike Henson. Hey, Mike.
Hi, hello.
So today, it's pretty amazing. We're at the Surfing Heritage Foundation, and they're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Endless Summer, which is just so wonderful. And let's get into it right away. So you begin professionally shaping boards for Gordon and Smith. You're also shaping for Weber, O'Neill, and of course Hobie. And Bruce Brown comes to you and says, I have an idea for a movie. 3 Americans taking on the best waves in the world. What do you say to it?
Well, that's not what he said, because we were just going on a trip to find waves. And we just happened to find that wave, that made the whole movie.
So how did it come about? How did he say, you're the one I want, you and Robert August?
Oh, because I was actually familiar with Bruce. I had lived with him in Hawaii, and we did the surfing holidays, with Phil Edwards. And then, so I was around Hobie's at the time, and Bruce waited for a year to do another movie because he was so sick of the way movies were going, because everybody got the same surf all the time. So it just happened, and I came up with the $1,400 that we needed for the plane ticket. Bruce didn't have the money, and Hobie gave me that. And so I signed up right away. I was one of the first ones. Of course, at that time, surfers were a dime a dozen, so I didn't feel too privileged.
So you get on there. It's a 3-month trip. You're going to South Africa, Tahiti, New Zealand, Australia. Had you really done that much traveling before, or was this an all-new thing for you?
Well, most of my travels was going back and forth from Hawaii, because there were the big surfs there in the North Shore in the wintertime. And so, I was used to flying in planes. In those days, it was like, 14 hours to get to Hawaii, rubber band flight. So traveling was not really my problem.
Very cool. Now, behind us, I don't know if we can see, but there's an absolutely gorgeous board. It's a replica of the red, white, and blue Hobie board that you rode in the movie. Tell us about the board that you actually rode in the movie, and what's the story with that? Do you know where it is today?
Oh, I wish I did, I sold it for a plane ticket back from Hawaii to California for like $200 for a plane ticket. I've been offered $5,000, But that board was actually constructed. It was a Hobie board, and I built it, glued it up and everything with. It was probably the strongest. I mean, that board could fly off a car and still survive. we only had room for one board to go with us. One board for Robert, one for myself, and so what can I say? That's the board.
So with so many locations, so many adventures in one experience, is there one that really stands out to you, one that's your favorite?
Well, finding that wave was really something. That was an extremely good day. But South Africa was amazing. We met some people there that, took us around, and as the movie says, every surfer in South Africa came with us, go surfing. But let's see, Australia was, we didn't do much in Australia. New Zealand was real nice. And Tahiti was real nice. I mean, actually, every place we went, it was nice,
Planet X TV.
With me is surfing photographer Bruce Brown. And Bruce, let me say, I think the movies you take of surfing are just superb.
Thank you very much, bud. What's up, buddy? Bruce!
What do you want?
Oh, look at you. I guess you were waiting for me,
I'm
huh?
just kidding. Come on in.
Excuse me.
Wow. Gee,
That's our first sample out of production.
wow, that's amazing. Wow. That's really cool. I love the way all the wheels and all that stuff. This is how we, would edit the movies. And put the film on there and crank the rewinds and
That's where you saw the, yeah.
that was it. Yeah.
Oh, wow, it's two works.
Yeah. That's in the Museum of Modern Art in New York somewhere.
Oh, very nice.
And then these are posters from
From the other movies.
some of my old films.
Mhm.
Yeah. When you're sitting on the stage showing your movie, you got a live audience, so that's probably the most valuable experience you could possibly have.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize at the time, but if something's not working, we just re-edit. Driving to the movie, I'd actually be splicing film and stuff in the back of the car going to the movie. Well, I started off, when I was, 14 with an 8mm camera and taking pictures of surfing to show my mom, and then I was on a submarine in Hawaii in the mid-50s, and I shot a whole bunch of 8mm movies over there, and then when I came back, I edited the thing and put some music with it and stuff, and then we used to show it at Dale Velzy's surfboard shop in San Clemente and charge a quarter. Finally, through the summer, he put up $5,000 and we bought cameras and stuff and went to Hawaii and made the first movie, which was Slippery When Wet, and kind of went from there. But I had no, no formal training. I got in the plane with a book on how to make movies. It was a real thin book too. Surfing is what got me, you know, I had no interest in cameras other than surfing. I just wanted to, you know, take pictures of me and my buddies, you know, surfing, you know, to show people.
It's America's newest sport, and it's called skateboarding.
Well, a lot of surfers, you know, got into skateboarding, and then Hobie, you know, who was my friend and neighbor, and he started making skateboard. I actually made a film for Hobie that was Vitapac took over the manufacturer, and he had the Hobie Super Surfer skateboard team, and I made a little film for him that it's kind of a classic to watch. Jumping over things, and you know, at the time was a big deal. Like, wow, look at that! He jumped the curb, and doing wheelies and all that. You know, with the wooden boards and the clay wheels. Well, I never thought it was a perfect thing until later, but the picture actually was from an ad that we'd shot at Salt Creek for Hang 10, and you know, we had a bunch of sketches and stuff. He like moved the figures closer together and also did the Dayglow stuff. But a lot of people didn't like that poster to start with. When Columbia Pictures took the movie internationally, they hated the poster. They wanted to change it. So it was like a battle, you know, and now of course like, oh, well, you must have known all along. Well, I guess we knew it, but the supposed smart guys, marketing guys didn't know it. We had no idea, you know, that the poster was going to become such a iconic thing. Well, the title was just a pipe dream. You know, it's like, gosh, if you traveled around the world at just the right speed, you'd be in the middle of the summer, 365 days a year. So we used that as the theme. You know, originally we were just going to go to South Africa. And we found it was cheaper to go around the world via South Africa than it was just LA, South Africa, and return. And we really did the whole around the world thing to save $50. Well, you know, early on in the 50s, the music surfers liked was jazz. So that's why the first movie, Slippery When Wet, I had Bud Shank did a, you know, jazz musician. He had like a jazz soundtrack. In those early days, you could, you know, we just take a record and put it on tape, which was legal because you were personally narrating a thing, and you know, frequently you'd change music and this and that. It's flattering, obviously, but so I don't, you know, I wouldn't know what to say about it other than I'm flattered. You can't necessarily surf whenever you feel like it because it may not be any surf, but skateboarding you can. You know, whenever you want to, you can do it. Thanks, my man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
This is great.
Planet X TV.
Planet X is brought to you by Super Shuttle, the official transportation partner for Planet X TV. When you need a lift, think Super Shuttle.
Planet X is brought to you by the Inn at Sunset Cliffs here in beautiful Ocean Beach, California. Here's the website. Check it, book it, use it. You'll love it. We're back. We're here with Mike Henson at the Surfing Heritage Foundation for the 50th anniversary of the Endless Summer. And so Hobie, obviously, Hobie Alter was such a huge part of your life.
It was, yes.
And he was a big part of the Endless Summer, too. I
Yes,
mean,
yeah.
he, well, obviously you ride the Hobie board, and he helped you to actually get the seed money you needed to get on the
Exactly,
trip.
the airfare, yes. $1,400 for a round-the-world trip. One way, you know. Hobie's one of my greatest, he was a mentor to me. He was like, the surfing, everybody knows about it. I don't know what to say about him. Number uno.
Well, you had some more adventures with Hobie after the film was completed. It's all ready to go. Bruce Brown screens it at the Santa Monica Theater. Everybody loves it. The theater just sells out every time you show the movie. Bruce wants to take it on the road, crams everybody on the RV, and Hobie Alter jumps on board and says, well, why don't we take some surfboards with us? So what was that experience like, everybody in the RV?
We traveled from California up to New York and then down the East Coast. And then from there we went along the bottom half of Texas and those places. And everywhere we stopped, we would try to, everywhere we stopped to surf, we surf. But if not, we show the movie. And it was quite fun because at that time, the skateboards were just coming in. And so Corky, myself, and Joey Cabell used to, every time we get gas, we'd stop and just run those skateboards everywhere. Then it became quite obscene because no one had really seen those skateboards, And so we became, famous all of a sudden, real quick, before the movie.
I think when you guys were in New York, Bruce and was it Corky went on the Tonight Show?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
And Corky, he skateboarded on the Tonight Show.
Yes, he did. He did something that caused a scene. I think he flipped the board into the crowd or something like that. I mean, you had to know Corky to realize it was just something he does all the time.
I remember you were telling me that once when you guys were in the RV, everybody wanted to crash. Everybody was asleep. So you took over.
Yeah.
You said, I'll drive for the night. And you guys ended up in this really tiny, teeny
I
town.
have no idea, yeah.
And they were having like a chicken fry festival.
Exactly, at some park, yes. Wichita, Kansas or something like that.
And you guys bust out the skateboards, and it was like nothing they'd ever seen.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of places we went, it was like that. Everybody was amazed. What are you guys doing, I mean, it was fun.
Planet X TV. Planet X TV.
And we're at the Surfing Heritage Foundation for the 50th anniversary of the Endless Summer. And I'm here with Paul Strow, Executive Director and Board Member for the Surfing Heritage Foundation. Hi there, Paul.
Hi, nice to see you.
So it's an awesome event tonight. It's just wonderful. Tell us a little bit about the foundation and what you guys do here.
Well, we're a nonprofit 501(c) corporation, and our whole purpose is to preserve, present accurately, and archive surfing's history and culture, and for the benefit of all of those that are still around to enjoy it.
Well, I mean, your name is huge in the surf industry as well. And I mean, you and Mike Henson have been friends forever. You could tell us like a few stories if you wanted.
Mike's an old friend. I met him when I was 18, and as a graduation from high school gift, my parents said, "What would you like to do?" And I said, "I'd like to go to the mainland for summer before starting college." So I flew up here, stayed with friends from Hawaii in Los Angeles, Hermosa Beach, and then I made a trip down to visit friends in San Diego, and I ended up surfing with Mike. And so I ended up staying with him for several days down in San Diego. And it was quite an experience, you know. Surfing has its own culture, and it's very, very unique. I don't know. Once you get involved with the ocean, you kind of lose track of all other realities in terms of structure and things, and you end up in a flow with the ocean, and it changes your whole method and appreciation for what you do and your perspective.
Is that what took you to Hawaii?
Yeah. Well, no, but Mike, I just wanted to relate a little bit about Mike. In the reverse of my trip here, he came over the following year and stayed with me and my family. I was still living at home, and it was really special. You know, I was able to show him because there's a tradition at times, and in certain ways, the foreigners, especially one with blonde hair like Mike, very fair skin, they're not too well looked upon in terms of having a lot of respect because of what happened with Captain Cook and the missionaries, and there's a whole sequence there that Hawaii is trying to regain their own ways and their lifestyle. But we had so much fun surfing, and Mike was so ahead of the clan in terms of his skill, and he really fit in really easily.
Or to get more information, please email us at info@planetx.tv.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Planet X caught up with the cast, crew, family, and friends of the Endless Summer film 50th anniversary party at the Surfing Heritage and Cultural Center in beautiful San Clemente, California. Planet X friend Sam August caught up with his dad, Robert August, the other star of the film.
Coming back to Robert August here at Surfing Heritage Culture Center, and standing behind the board here, the replica of the original 1963 model that he traveled the world with, and celebrating the 50-year anniversary here tonight at Surfing Heritage.
Yep, it's pretty cool. I've already seen a bunch of friends that I had 30, 40 years ago, and there's a good energy here. It's great.
And we also have your granddaughter, Taylor August, small wave rider out of Newport Beach, California. Taylor, what's the biggest wave you've ridden in the last few years?
Like 3 or 4.
3 or 4 total waves, or 3 or 4 foot?
Foot.
Okay, good answer. We are going back to Africa. We're going to check out Cape St. Francis, and we're taking 6 high school kids from Huntington Beach High, where our dad was the student body president in 1963, 50 years ago. It's really exciting.
It really is, because these kids are pretty much my age. When I got out of school, we left and made the film. So it's a pretty cool thing for me I haven't been back there since then. So it's going to be a big adventure for me and a huge adventure for all these kids. It's really going to be a cool thing.
The start of the surf industry 50 years ago, and now these kids get to travel with their iconic figure, Robert August. It's a pretty great thing, and we're all happy to be a part of it. We're really excited to have Robert August tonight for the Endless Summer 50-year anniversary. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Planet X, and we'll see you guys in another 50 years.
Thank you so much, Mike. We've been here at the Surfing Heritage Foundation celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Endless Summer, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Only here.